happy makes me. And I know I'm bawling right now. It's just, I'm so emotional.
Oh, hell. Y'all, Melissa Forever, make sure you subscribe to her. She's pinned down in the description.
Just perfect. Good. My friend. Just alright, ready,
No.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill him with this one. That's what you did. That's what you did. You set up that camera and then you watched it back and then you posted it.
That dude got on his bed and flailed his arms around, y'all, and then said, "That's what you did." And she got the camera back and started looking at it and posted it.
You watched it back, you edited it, and then you posted it. That's you should be ashamed of your goddamn.
Oh hell!
Maybe it takes that perspective to realize just how crazy it is to set up a camera, sit down, and act like you're having a genuine conversation, genuine little chit chat, and then you just start bawling, as Gypsy put it, in front of the camera. And then to take that footage, play it back, edit it, and say, oh, this will really capture the audience. I've got them good now. It's just crazy.
Crazy
There's
as
no
hell.
other word. I also want to talk about the way that she talks about Ken and their relationship. In my opinion, just seems very one-sided. In this video, as she's sitting there talking about the first time her and Ken met, they met after 4 months of talking, and he apparently went to the prison to visit her and gave her a knock your socks off kiss. Now,
oh Lord, I remember listening to that. Bex, thank you.
First of all, I don't know if Ken knew, but Gypsy definitely knew that she wasn't supposed to be kissing on her prison visits. So that right there just tells us, once again, that
did she get in trouble for that? I remember listening to that video.
She believes she is above the rules and they don't apply to her. But secondly, the way that she's talking about Ken, it's clear that there is a real obsession there. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but it's called love bombing. And
oh hell! By the way, Desiree, thank you for the Cash App. Desiree coming in hot. Thank you so much.
And it's a really big
You're awesome.
red flag. And I actually read an article on Facebook about it the other day. But I was in a relationship like this with a narcissist where when I first met him, he was obsessed, would compliment me through the roof, wouldn't stop texting, wouldn't stop calling, couldn't stop thinking about me. And that in turn is a red flag, especially at the very beginning of any type of relationship when
what? You what? Oh man, this dude texts me back. He's interested in me. He says nice things to me. It's a red flag. What? What the fuck? Come on. I mean, really? It's a red flag to be nice to people? Oh, hell. I've been doing it all wrong.
Somebody becomes so obsessed that that's all they can focus on. It's very unhealthy. And when things are very one-sided, it's a sign that there is something wrong. That is not normal.
DJ Angel, thank you.
Well, that's not normal behavior.
One side, like you don't see any other, anything? Is that what she's saying? If it's excessive, yes. I guess that's true. Because y'all want what you can't have. So if the dude's oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're going to be like, man, this guy sucks. But the dude is like, oh, hey, what's up? And never talks to you again. You're like, ah! He needs some milk. Is that how it works? Man, this is crazy as hell. This is crazy as hell. I don't know. I have no idea. Jen, thank you. DJ Angel, thank you for the hearts. Look, Bex, pretty much. Insane. Let's keep going.
And for her to sit there and talk Ken up like this and make sure that it's out to the public just tells me that she definitely has some insecurities there. But that relationship also seems very one-sided. Now, really quickly, I just want to talk about this Haiti Joyless video that's been circulating around, and I did see a couple of other people talk about it, but I just wanted to weigh in, and it is interesting and worth the listen, so I am going to link that video below. So apparently this woman that's talking,
Oh, hell.
her husband works for the DOJ, and he was in contact with Gypsy's parole officer, and so they know the real reason why Gypsy's Casenet was taken down. And that reason being the fact that Gypsy is pregnant, so it's for safety and for the sake of the baby. To sort of summarize it, allegedly, content creators have been putting a lot of stress on Gypsy, and we know that she's pregnant, so that in turn puts stress on the baby. Also, allegedly, Gypsy's doctor's office was leaked. And I did see a comment on this video that said, well, what about when Gypsy showed us where she went for that sonogram at that Sweet Pea sonogram place? I personally think that's a little bit different. That is a special type of sonogram, and she posted it after she was there. But to have her actual personal doctor leaked where she's receiving her prenatal care, I don't think that is right at all. I get that Gypsy,
did somebody leak that? That's
out
crazy
in public, will be seen, she will be recognized, and I understand that. However, I don't believe that people should be out here leaking really private personal information like that. I think Gypsy is still a human being, and she does deserve that sort of privacy. However, on the other side, I do see how Gypsy kind of brings all of this on herself by continuing to post and share every aspect of her life on social media. And another thing is that when she is live, she's gone live in public places before at that moment, and that can be very dangerous for her. So I think she needs to be mindful of what she's posting, where she's posting, and when she goes live. I don't think she's done that in a while, but she has done like public lives where she is at a location and she is going live on TikTok or what have you. And that can be very dangerous for her, as she is so recognizable, and there are people out there that just don't like her altogether. But to get back on the topic of her Casenet.
Kim, thank you. Member for 3 months. Oh, my word. The channel turned 3 months. That is crazy as hell, YouTube. Y'all, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, you listen to this stuff every night. Hit me with these dolphins, too. Apparently, TikTok wants dolphins tonight. Don't even know what that means. But y'all make it happen. Let's keep going.
I don't really believe that that is the reason why it was taken down. Is it possible? Maybe. I think safety reasons could be a concern, but judging from the fact that Casenet is a judiciary website, I think from what I've read, it takes a lot more than that to have a case taken down off from Casenet, especially one of that nature. So I just want to say, if that is true and that is the reason why her Casenet was taken down, that would be a very rare case, and this really just shows that Gypsy really does receive all the special treatment when it comes to the justice system. Let's remember here, Gypsy is in control. She is a grown woman. She is not a victim of anything at this moment, and it is ultimately her responsibility to protect her baby and to make healthy decisions in her pregnancy for the best outcome and to remain stress-free. In my honest opinion, I don't believe that Gypsy should even be on social media. And if she is on social media, I think that the plan to keep her stuff private was a much better plan. Gypsy is still a really hot topic, and that is because she has made herself a hot topic by continuing to instigate content creators and make everything public. So at the end of the day, this is really on her. And I think that everybody talking about her would sort of dwindle down. I mean, I know people are still going to talk, but if she were to go private, it would really minimize the amount of
and she wouldn't see anything.
People talking about her. And the ball is basically in her court, is what I'm trying to say. Now I want to get to what I really want to
I don't
talk
disagree
about,
with
sort
that.
of the meat and potatoes of this whole video, and that is Dee Dee's
Oh, hit us with the meat and potatoes.
autopsy and toxicology report.
This is what I wanted to hear, y'all, the Dee Dee Blanchard autopsy stuff.
Being released. Now, I'm not going to go into depth and talk about the wounds and how they were done. I am no forensic scientist. I am not a detective, and I'm not going to be claiming to be a professional of any sorts. I'm just here sharing a couple thoughts on some questions that came to mind after looking over these reports. I did not receive a copy myself, and I don't think that's necessary. I was able to view the report on other platforms, and so I just have a couple things I want to talk about. Now,
let's get it.
Along with a lot of other people, what stood out to me is that Dee Dee did not have any medication in her system. And knowing that in one of the text messages, Gypsy did mention a sleep medication for her mom, had me questioning why wasn't that at least in Dee Dee's system, or any other medications that would correlate to her other health problems. According to the report, Dee Dee had a list of health problems, including type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol.
And she didn't have anything in her system, y'all?
I'm trying to remember here. I don't remember them all, but there was a list. She did have a history of cancer, and thyroid disease was one of them. And while a lot of these seem like pretty average health conditions, they do come with other physical ailments. And judging from the video that was floating around of the last time Gypsy and Dee Dee were seen together, I believe they were in a hospital, and Dee Dee's pushing Gypsy in the wheelchair, it's clear that Dee Dee had some real mobility issues. It looked like she was using that wheelchair as a walker, and Gypsy, with her legs crisscross applesauce, is sitting there just
crisscross applesauce. I haven't heard that in a long time.
enjoying the ride, with the idea and the plan to get rid of her mother already underway and on her mind. Now, to get back on topic here, so there were no medications in Dee Dee's body. So that tells me that she felt everything. She was aware of what was happening, and she was peacefully sleeping when this happened. We knew this was brutal, but to know that Dee Dee had absolutely no medication in her system to minimize the pain whatsoever or to alter her consciousness makes this that much worse. And
that is brutal.
And another thing that was cleared up in this report is that Dee Dee had no other injuries on her body. Her nose was not broken. And I have to admit, I did believe that theory, whatever rumor was floating around. And with that, I just want to say I'm going to be much more careful with the information that I share here on my channel. I don't want to be spreading misinformation. And
did people think that her nose was broken?
I've learned that you can't just take information and run with it because of that. But this report did clear a few of those other theories up. With that being said, there are still people out here that even comment on my videos and say things like, Dee Dee deserved this and she had it coming. But can you really say that looking at all of the evidence, all of the videos, all of the pictures, and piecing it all together? I don't think any human being deserves this. But that's just the thing, is Dee Dee has been dehumanized by Gypsy. What gets me is Gypsy is still being viewed as this victim. She was a victim then, she's a victim now because of content creators, and it's just a never-ending cycle. But let's remember that at this time of Dee Dee's demise, Gypsy was a woman, and she was playing her part, judging from all the evidence.
How old was she when it happened again? Like 23, is that right?
And
Stella, thank you. Y'all, we're getting close on that. Thank you so much. TikTok, hit the follow button too if you're new here. Hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. YouTube, thumbs up, and subscribe if you're new. Oh, and TikTok, if you want to watch the video, you can see the video on YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project. Find the YouTube channel, subscribe. We're live there also. Come on over.
She had other ways out. She didn't want to take those ways.
Kimberly,
and
thank you. Money,
Nick
thank you.
tried to get her to do something different, like run away, for instance. And she could have very well done that, but she didn't want to do that. She wanted her mom gone for good, and that's just it. Now, to get back to talking about other rumors and theories, people are going to speculate because there are so many holes in this whole story. And honestly, we probably will never know what actually went down that night. But what I will say is that
that's crazy to think too, that we just will never really know.
No matter what your theory is, whether you believe Nick acted alone or Gypsy was involved or somebody else was involved, what it comes down to is that Gypsy was the mastermind. Like we've concluded, this was brutal. So whoever did the act was enraged. And I want to say that if Nick acted alone, somebody pushed him to that point because he had no other connection or relation with Dee Dee to
Yeah, he didn't even like know her very well, huh?
drive him to that point besides Gypsy. Now, I want to keep reiterating that I am not a professional, but I did make another video talking a little bit about Nick's autism. And I talked about how sometimes autistic people can become fixated on certain things, whether that be a character or a person or a game. I have this theory that Gypsy found.
Oh, because she used to do all that cosplay stuff. Crafty Care Bear, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Very, very sweet. Oh, first super chat too is what it says. Thank you so much. You're very sweet for that.
Nick. She learned what his interests were. She learned how his mind worked, and she groomed him to do this for her.
What do y'all think about that?
I think my theory is that she made this into some sort of game for him by using those different personas and characters. And Gracie, I think for him, the prize would be Gypsy. Not to mention,
you what?
And she made it seem like she was in danger and that the only way out was this. We haven't seen all of the messages between Gypsy and Nick, like those Facebook messages, and we will never see the FaceTime
Imagine if that came out.
Conversations that they had with one another. But what we do know is that Gypsy is pretty articulate. She can convince people to believe her, and she still has people convinced to this day that she is nothing more than a victim. People say Nick is a monster. He knows right from wrong, and he made this decision to do this. But we have to remember that there was an outside force, and that was Gypsy Rose, and she manipulated him and groomed him to the point of him actually committing this crime. And I want to say that
Amy, thank you. Same thing, very sweet.
Even if Nick acted alone, it doesn't negate the fact that Nick never received a fair trial. Nobody has been able to show concrete evidence that Gypsy was abused by Dee Dee. And so Gypsy's actions cannot be justified. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dee Dee is not here to tell her side of the story, so we only get one side. And so I believe that people are going to be speculating for the rest of eternity unless somebody knows something that hasn't come out yet. To end this video, I just want to clarify a few things. And I want to say that I would never wish harm on anybody, and that includes Gypsy. I believe that she does deserve her privacy, especially when it comes to her doctor's visits. But I do believe that she is bringing a lot of this on herself by sharing everything with the public and continuing to be on social media the way that she is. I do not believe that Nick belongs out here on the streets. I think that Nick deserves his fair trial, and I think that he belongs in a facility where he is monitored, but he's still able to live life and be productive, if that makes sense. Now to speak on Ryan and Ken, I want to say that I think they're both weirdos for ever even contacting Gypsy while she was incarcerated, let alone dating her and
I think they're both weirdos.
Marrying her and impregnating her, whatever. And I haven't seen Ryan in a while, but I just want to point out that I think overall he's a good guy, but
oh yeah, what happened? Did he give up? Is he still doing stuff?
He obviously did have some character flaws. I will say that Gypsy's...
We all got character flaws.
flaws outweigh his by a ton. And when it comes to Ken, I think Ken is feeling trapped. I don't think he was expecting Gypsy to get pregnant this quickly. I think Gypsy got pregnant on purpose. And from the looks of things, it does seem like there are still some insecurities in that relationship. And the relationship does seem pretty one-sided, in my opinion. Looking at how Gypsy talks about Ken and how Ken talks about Gypsy, it's two different things. It's like comparing oranges to apples, in my opinion. Information just keeps on coming out, and Gypsy continues to be this topic to talk about, and people are going to especially continue to talk as long as she keeps giving us stuff to talk about. So
that's true.
So I guess the ball is sort of in her court, but I guess some people can't grasp that situation, and people feel the need to protect her for some reason.